And
Mm.
we sometimes have a tendency to want to hold on and just read the pages to make sure that we didn't miss anything. Wait,
Like,
let me read it. Because they say you get new insights with reading something over and over again. But when you're the one who wrote it,
mm. And you haven't changed.
there's nothing new that you can read unless you
Mm.
write something new in. Welcome to Healing Conversations podcast.
Podcast.
Yes, hello,
Hello.
hello, everyone. Welcome to Healing Conversations podcast.
Podcast.
Yes, we are merging over from social media and bringing it into a more intimate, in-depth space where you can be anywhere, any place, and tune into the conversations that we'll be having weekly, unpacking things that we are experiencing and growing through and bringing it to the space to share with you all and inviting you to leave us messages, send us messages on social if there's
Yes.
something that resonates, if there's something that you want to participate by giving us a question and we will take it and bring it to the space. So welcome to Healing Conversation. And for those who are not familiar with it, this is a space Sister Angelique and we started on Instagram. Just wanted to have a space that we showed up weekly and honestly, I would say supported us because everything that we
Mm.
bring to the space each week, it's just things that we are both kind of in alignment with similar experiences, and we just want to converse about it to feel it and let it go. And now we're just bringing that into the podcast platform to where we are now just having it just her and I. We'll have a special guest every now and then, but this is our space of expansion, growth, and I'm a firm believer that as we heal individually, we support the collective's healing, expansion, and growth.
Yes. And we still want you to engage, even though we are not live. Get into the comments, like you said. Send us a message, send us a voice note. Like, let us know what you're thinking, whether you're listening to this on Spotify or YouTube, Apple Music, whatever the platform is, reach out. We are mostly on Instagram, where you can look up us on YouTube if you want to be like more directly connected with me specifically, because I don't do all the Apple Music stuff. But you can catch me on the gram and comment and send me a message and let me know how this is impacting you, what's resonating, what you want to dive into. And yeah, it's just this is a space for us to have conversations about things that we don't normally have conversations about. Um, there's definitely parts of my life that I have unpacked during our live conversations that have surprised me, whether it be with my sexuality or my finances or experiences that I had as a child. And it has really served me. These conversations are really healing. So I'm really looking forward to holding this space with you all, um, and being on this journey. Like we are going to be giving action steps. Like Raymel said, we are going to be having people on here who are leaders and experts in their fields, and we'll have some really rich things for you. So make sure you get your notebook and your pen or your pencils. Or if you want to doodle or sketch, I'm an artist. I definitely believe in doodling out your thoughts as well. So, welcome to the space. Know it is a safe space. Know that we're not here to judge you. We have nothing but love for you. And that, again, whatever you choose to share, whatever you get from this, is valid. And we would like to hear it. So, yeah, welcome to the podcast, y'all.
Um, Now, our first podcast, Sister Angelique and I was just really, I had the idea to let you get to know us as individuals and why it is that we are so passionate, we are so committed, and why we show up in the space of healing conversation. And I do believe that through everyone's story, there is a version of ourselves that we will resonate and connect with because we've all had some form of trauma in our own
Mm,
unique way, but the energy of trauma affects us all in some way. So I just firmly believe that as you get to know us, you'll get to be excited to be on this journey with us because you'll see that we're no experts. We're students. We're on this journey of healing and expansion and growth just as you. We just have a little further steps that we've taken to now support you and bring you to where we are as we continue to grow further ahead. So
yeah.
let's get into it. So I'll start. This journey of healing has been I want to say it blows me away that I am a leader. It blows me away that I have been fortunate to reach over 52 countries and supporting others with connecting to their inner voice, with helping them use their voice and helping them intentionally create a life that they are fulfilled with. But what really blows me away is that I've committed over, I want to say, 1,200 days of
Mm,
development and growth and this journey of healing and remembrance. But with the reflection of all of those things, it brings me to the knowing that it wasn't always that way. There was this moment that I remember in 2019. I was working at a bar. It was right before my birthday, February the 8th. And the new year comes for you and you're thinking like, what's next? Okay, this new season, what do I want to do? Who do I want to be? How do I want to live it? And I was torn in the thoughts of what am I doing with my life? And I don't even know what the next direction that I want to go into life. And though I should be in the energy and the mindset of celebration, I was more in the energy of feeling stagnant, feeling stuck. I felt lost. I felt like I kept repeating the same things, but I didn't know why. And when I say the same things, I felt like I was settling for a job that I wasn't really making money at. I felt like I was in dysfunctional relationships, whether it was friendships, whether it was potential relationships as far as romance. And I just was tired. I was tired of being tired. I was tired of feeling like there was nothing more outside of what I was settling for. And I knew, okay, this new year, this new season, you have to choose something
mm,
different. But I even didn't know honestly what that was. I just knew it was something that I had to do. And I got into personal training, which became a way of giving back because I was so used to I won't even say receiving, but I was doing. I wasn't giving. I was doing things for attention. I was doing things for
mm,
praise. I was doing things for feeling to feel accepted. And when I got into personal training, it allowed me to feel like I was being truly of service to help others in a way that really lit me up and showed me that there was more that I had to give to this world than being a pretty face, than being just stuck in a dysfunctional situation, whether it was a job or relationship or anything else. So having the ability to know that like there was something more, but not knowing what that was, I chose to take an action that y'all didn't even know that I would have the ability to take. I put my 2 weeks in, but it was
mm.
more like a 2 months. Let's not act like I just
Get
jumped out the pool and jumped into a new one. Like I put 2 months, and it was because there was this fear of, can I do it? Will I make
mm,
it? Will it actually happen? Can I make it happen? So I was such in this kind of like tug of war with myself that I needed some time to really make sure that I made the right decision. And during that time of like 2 months, life was showing me like you've outgrown this. There's this season, this chapter, it's closed. So why are you trying to keep it open? And
Mm.
we sometimes have a tendency to want to hold on and just read the pages to make sure that we didn't miss anything. Wait,
Like,
let me read it. Because they say you get new insights with reading something over and over again. But when you're the one who wrote it,
mm. And you haven't changed.
there's nothing new that you can read unless you
Mm,
write something new in. So that's
mm,
where I had to really stick and commit to it, which allowed me to trust. And I just knew I knew of this word called faith. I heard of it, but I wasn't able to truly live it until I made that choice and decision to let go. And once the time came, I quit the job and I started this life of entrepreneur, thinking that that would be the true solution or answer. But what I realized, it was the answer to show me that there was inner work that I needed to do.
mm,
There was new versions of me that I needed to be in order to be able to really excel in this life of service and passion and sharing my gifts, which that hasn't been a overnight thing. It started as a crawl, actually a scoot, which turned into a
mm,
crawl, which allowed me to stand and fall back down and stand and fall back down, which allowed me to have stability in my walk, which sometimes turned into a skip. But
mm,
I share all of this to say that through that, it inspired me, that it taught me, I should say, that isn't a bad thing, that it's okay to fall, knowing that you will get up. It revealed to me that if you don't take that risk and take that chance, you'll never see what's on the opposite side of fear. And fear becomes what paralyzes us and keeps us stuck. And it ignited in me that I knew that once I made the choice to change, to do the work and see my life change, that I would commit my life to helping others do the same. Which leads me to where I'm at right now in the space of healing conversation, co-creating this safe space with Sister Angelique, being of service to share by being the example, not being the leader or the teacher, but just being the mirror to allow you to see yourself through my reflection as I share things that I experience and grow from on this journey. So that's just a little
mm.
story of this journey, a part of the journey. There's so many layers that you will hear about, but I felt like that was important because I feel like someone can connect and resonate with that.
Me. I love it because we do tend to get into a space of judging ourselves for falling and not allowing ourselves to just learn, you know? Um, I was having a conversation with someone recently and I was sharing I'm so amazed at my life now. Like the peace that I have, the community that I have, the book that I've written. And I have to keep reminding myself, like, yo, you are a practitioner of the things that you've been learning, these skills, these tools, the mindset, and it has transformed your life because I was not always this person. I was not always this way. I wasn't always this grounded. I used to have one of those jobs where I felt drained. I actually remember a day, I'm here in LA and it was hot. And I was working at this retail store that just sold a bunch of stuff. And I was just surrounded by miles, it felt like, in these aisles of just things and boxes up and down the stairs, just exhausted day in, day out. My manager locking the door at the end of the night while I watched my bus go past. And I had a 2 hour journey home. Life was tragic. And one day I was standing in one of the rooms and it was just so hot. and I just felt my body steaming, and I knew I couldn't move from where I was because I was on the clock. And I thought to myself, this is hell. This is what hell is. It's literally hot. I'm stuck. I can't go anywhere. This person is lording over me. This is literally what people call hell. And I am in it. And I don't know how to get out. And after that moment, I just kept realizing these relationships are not satisfying. The places where I'm going to eat are not satisfying. The way that I'm thinking about myself is not satisfying. And those thoughts spiraled me into thinking that life wasn't worth living. And one day I attempted to take my own life, but through divine intervention, that didn't go how I planned it to go. And I learned how failure can give you an opportunity to check in with yourself, to say, what is it that I was actually seeking to accomplish through this task? And it doesn't have to be as deep as attempting to take your own life. It can be, what was I attempting with this relationship? What was I attempting with this job? What was I attempting with this idea for my business? And we get a moment to look at ourselves. And so I learned to, hey, get some help. And I started looking into podcasts. I started looking into videos. I started looking into books, into seminars, into community groups. And I built up this resilience that allows me to breathe and know that my life has a purpose, and know that I get to align myself internally, and that doing so brings what I want into my life. And so now I live heaven on earth. And I'm committed to supporting other people with creating their own heaven on earth, with recognizing that they are divine creators, that they are all artists, even if they're not as eccentric as I am. We are all creating our lives. We are all the artists of our own lives. And that's why I really do appreciate that Brother Emil decided to take this journey with me, as we are being vessels of light and love on this planet. And like he said, we're not experts. However, we do have experience, and we have tried and tested the things that we are sharing with you. So definitely, again, get your notebook and take the notes and put it into practice, because even if you don't get it overnight, even if you have to scoot, like Brother Ray Mel was saying, listen, I've been in the scooting season.
Those arms up.
And that's, but the point is, just keep going and know that you are supported. And that's what this podcast is here for as well.
Mhm. Oh my goodness, what a powerful story. And I feel like I want to just speak to the practice.
Mm,
As throughout this podcast, through episodes that you'll hear us invite you to practice. You'll hear us speak of practice, because it's through the practice. A lot of times we accumulate a lot of knowledge, a lot of information, a lot of things, but we forget to practice it.
mhm,
And that's where it's through the practice that you'll start to see the small changes. This healing journey is not really a microwave thing, so it's not going to be instant. And a lot of the times we tend to be impatient, and we
mhm,
feel like, well, I've done the practices, but I'm not seeing the results. And that's where I just invite you to trust the process, because it takes that trust and that knowing that this is what I'm committing to. And even if I don't see the instant results, I believe that it will eventually happen. And when I tell you it does, being on this journey since 2019, who I am now, it still like just brings a smile to my face because this version of myself who has done all these things, I still have to like really take time to bask in that. Because
Mhm.
sometimes we're so focused on the next thing that we overlook all the things that we have done and are doing. So I just want to speak to practice because healing is going to really happen through what you practice and what you
Mhm.
allow to let go and what you allow to come in. But it takes that practice to know how to do it. So you will start to be familiar with it and you'll see how it becomes something that you do unconsciously versus you're trying to do and force. So I just wanted to speak to that because I know that that is has been a game changer for me. And I just
Mhm.
want to bring that awareness to everybody that it's through that practice, 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 you'll start to see your life truly change.
Yes, absolutely. And I know we've had the conversation before about the small steps, and it actually comes up often because that's a part of the practice. Those little things day by day, those moments where we can catch ourselves thinking thoughts that are not serving us. We get to be mindful, and that's a part of it. And it seems small in the moment. However, once you've been doing it for 3 months, 6 months, 6 years, it really does mold and shape you into a new being. It's like when the water is dripping onto a stone, it's just one little water drop, right? One little water drop. But eventually, a groove will be made in that stone just from that consistent dropping of water. A stone, something that if you tried to break it with your hand, you couldn't. Even if you maybe roll it over with a car, it would still just be a rock on the road. But that consistent drop of water wears away the stone. And just like that, a consistent practice will wear away the stones that are stuck in your energy flow and will allow you to have more alignment, more attunement, and bring those things into your life that you want to bring into your life. Often we talk about law of attraction and manifestation and universal laws. And we're just yapping about it. And like Ravel was saying, it's a lot of information, but we aren't practicing. We're not actually paying attention to where our vibration is set. We're like, I'm really wanting to bring in a partner and a house and the dog and the American dream. But on the inside, we're like, ooh, I hate paying my bills. Ooh, I can't stand when such and such smacks their food like that. I hate having to take my dog to get groomed. Like, those are contradictory thoughts. And even when we do think enough or we get the monetary resources or connections to make something happen and we get what we are thinking about or what we're wanting, we're not satisfied with it because we're attracting our energy of what has been put out. And we're experiencing that energy of about everything that was the undertow of what we were asking. And that's why it's important to practice gratitude and mindfulness. How am I actually thinking about this? What am I actually wanting to bring into my experience? Because those material things, we want them. And I'm not sure who said this originally, but it wasn't me. I just practiced it. What we're wanting materially is not actually what we're wanting. We're actually wanting the feeling that it brings us. It's not about the car. It's not about the dog. It's not about the wife. It's not about the husband. It's about the feeling tone, usually of love, of peace, of joy that it will bring us. So, yeah, just practicing really allows us to live in that love, that joy, and that peace. And it does happen with small steps. So, listen, if you're feeling a little irritated and unaligned today, that's okay. now you have had a moment, a pinprick of awareness,
Mm.
as Michael Beckwith likes to say, a pinprick of awareness, and you can say like, let me think about this a little bit differently. Let me implement some of these tools. Let me get my notebook and write some notes. And actually implement this. So yeah, that's what's coming up for me. But I do want to say we are leaving y'all with some tools. Um, 3 takeaways. I know that's something that we talked about, Raymel, giving the folks some takeaways.
Yeah, I
So
was just thinking that.
yeah,
I
what
was
are some
thinking we
three
should,
things?
since our theme, it seems as though it's practice, let's leave them with three practices that will support them just with shifting energy perception and what you're sending out and what it allows in. So the three practices that I would like to leave you all with to implement this week: gratitude. Sister Angelique spoke of it, but I would invite you to practice writing 5 things that you're grateful for when you start your day, and 5 things that you're grateful for when you end your day.
Mm,
This has been a practice of mine for over, honestly, almost a decade now. And there's a vibration that you set for the day of gratitude. So literally you start to open yourself up to not only be grateful, but to see how life will bring you things of gratitude. So I would invite you to just do that. And it takes nothing but a minute or two to write it down. And it's just you telling yourself and showing yourself that there's so much to be grateful for. The second practice that I will give you is take 5 minutes after you write your gratitude and just sit in stillness.
mm,
The mind is so busy with yesterday, with tomorrow, that it often doesn't allow you to be in today. So in the morning, just be in stillness. And after you've written your gratitude, now allow the mind just to be in the energy of gratitude versus trying to see things that it needs to be grateful for. And that's how you're able to align and adjust your energy. And not only you are sending a signal out, it's what you're doing and being as you're just being in the day. So I would just invite you just to take that 5 minutes. And if 5 minutes is hard, do a minute and lead it to two. And let it be 5 minutes is the goal, but it's not what you are trying to force. But that's just the invitation of the max time that I invite you to practice, just to be in the stillness. And the last thing that I will invite you in for us to practice is send love to 3 people.
mm,
Send love to 3 people that you are not in alignment with. Someone who pissed you off, someone who got on your nerves, someone who you were just aggravated and irritated with, and you just like, I can't stand them. The reason being is that you're releasing that energy from you by sending love to them. And it's not that you have to call them, you don't have to message them. This is not about them. It's about you allowing yourself to truly be in the energy of gratitude, because we can't be in gratitude when we're holding energy of anger, resentment, judgment, and all those things. So this is a way to support you with truly being in the energy of the gratitude, is releasing what isn't of service to you. So I invite you just to send love to 3 people that is
mm.
not in alignment with you, and just see how you start to feel throughout your day by starting your day with intention and practice. And that is my 3 gems that I'll leave. Sister Angelique, what you
Yeah. I'm gonna just let them chew on that. And
I just
yeah, because I don't want to
ma'am.
overwhelm the people. You feel me? So this week, Reverend Reverend Raymel, that slipped out, but I like it. He's shared with us to spend 5 minutes, not 5 minutes, to spend time writing down 5 things that we're grateful for in the morning and in the evening. I have been reflecting in my mind in the mornings what I'm grateful for. And I've been looking for some support with my evening practice. So I might listen. I
Mm.
wrote that down. So that's the first one. Write 5 things in the morning, 5 things at night that you're grateful for. The second thing, spend 5 minutes in stillness after you write down what you're grateful for and really just allow yourself to sit in it. And also, I want to just add a little nugget in there. Congratulate yourself in that 5 minutes.
Mm.
Just say, I took time to write down 5 things I'm grateful for. And I celebrate myself for that because celebrating ourselves is so important. And it's
Mm.
one of the things that has made this healing journey sweeter because a lot of it can be like very tender and raw. But when we take the time to, or I found that when I take the time to congratulate myself for going through those tender and raw moments and holding myself with grace and compassion, that I continue to be strong enough to do that tender and raw work. So yeah,
Mm.
spend 5 minutes in the stillness after you write your 5 things down, just to sit and reflect. And then he said, send love to 3 people who you might be having some challenge with. And I feel like this is a really important one. I spent some time, I think it was 2019 or 2020. Um, I had a year of non-judgment. Like anytime I felt a judgment about myself coming up or anybody else, I would just go non-judgment, non-judgment. Like I wouldn't even try to shift the thought. I would
Mm.
just say, just shut it down, just shut the judgment down. And while that was challenging, it did support me with shifting my own mindset about myself, my internal dialogue, and it helped me to start being able to flow love out to people. So if it's challenging for you to send love specifically, that love energy, and you say it and you feel like this is fake, I'm not really sending no love. Just start off with non-judgment. Just say, I'm not going to judge them. I'm not going to judge the situation. I'm going to just let it be what it is, you know? So, yeah, those are the 3 things. Those are some additional perspectives that I'm adding. And again, we definitely want you all to let us know how these practices are serving you, how the idea of practice, because that was the theme that we just rolled into today, how that is supporting you. And just so you're aware, these healing conversations, even with the podcast, we might start with a topic in mind. However, we really do our best to be authentic and open. So they'll flow kind of how they will, but we'll still be here to give you these tips and tools for you to take. And so, is there anything else you want to share before we invite the people to all the things?
Just thank you. This is a journey that I'm
Mm,
excited to be on, bringing it into the podcast space. I'm excited to learn what you are and watch, and you all watch us evolve and grow as we start from where we are in the podcast via Zoom, and no telling where it may lead us to be. And I just want to take a moment to just say thank you as we're in gratitude. Thank you to all
mhm.
those who will listen,
Yes,
all those who will engage and all of those who will just bring awareness to the space because it's with you all that we're able to hold this space and be in that collective energy of healing. So the conversations are really impactful as you just chime in, listen in, and add your contribution just with your vibration.
absolutely. Thank you. Yes, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And if you would like to join us on Instagram Live on Saturdays at 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time, we will be going live from Raymel's page and from my page at Raymel Bentley for Raymel and at VZ Spaces for me. That is V as in victory, Z as in zebra. Spaces on Instagram, and make sure that you check out the links in our bio. I got some book things if you would like to purchase one. Raymel has classes and courses and workshops and things. He's speaking, is being excellent. If there's anything that you want to share right now, Brother Raymel, that you're wanting the folks to tap into.
Right now, just be on the lookout because I have some things that are in creation. So
Yeah, we don't know when you're gonna
definitely
be
be
listening
hearing
to
about
this,
that
so
in
just
future episodes. But right now, just yeah, what if you need just support, know that it's there between Sister Angelique and I it's a passion, it's a mission. So that is my yeah, it's my excitement.
yes, yes. Make sure you stay in tune and stay in touch. Again, we are so very grateful to have you all here. We will see you next week.
Yes, thank you for tuning in to episode 1 of Healing Conversation Podcast. Until then, thank you, and we will talk to you later.
Mm,
Bye.
bye.